Assalamu alaikum and a pleasant morning, girls. Today I'm going to start a mirror poem by Sylvia Plath. Today itself I've given you the poetical lines, so I'm hoping you are all having those lines. Okay, please follow those lines, girls. Let's have the introduction about the poet. Sylvia Plath, an American poet known for her novel The Bell Jar and poetry collections The Colossus and Ariel. Sylvia Plath was born in Boston, Massachusetts on October 27, 1932. Plath met and married British poet Ted Hughes, although the two later split. The depressive Plath committed suicide in 1963. In 1982, Plath became the first person to win a posthumous Pulitzer Prize. Sylvia Plath was a gifted and troubled poet, known for the confessional style of her work. Her interest in writing emerged at an early age, publishing a number of works. Plath won a scholarship to Smith College in 1950. In 1953, working for Mademoiselle magazine as a guest editor, Plath tried to commit suicide, having received treatment in a mental health facility and recovered. Plath returned to Smith and finished her degree in 1955. She is a good writer, gifted writer, but a troubled poet because her life is not so good or smooth. Okay, so she is very depressed. So because of that depression, she tried to commit suicide, but after getting help from the treatment from the mental hospital, she recovered and she again joined the Smith and finished her degree. Is it clear? Okay. Then in 1957, Plath spent time in Massachusetts to study with poet Robert Lowell and met fellow poet and students and sextons. Okay, she started studying in Robert Lowell and she met many poets there and students there. Okay, Plath returned to England in 1959. Sylvia Plath had her first collection of poetry, The Colossus, published in England in 1960. 1960s, she first published her collection of poetry. Is it clear? Okay. That same year, she gave birth to her first child, a daughter named Ferida. Okay. 2 years later, Plath and Hughes welcomed a second child, a son named Nicholas. She had 2 children. Okay. Unfortunately, the couple's marriage was failing. Hughes left her for another woman in 1962. Sylvia Plath fell into a deep depression. Okay, after it is a great failure because he left her because of another woman in 1962. Okay, from that her deep depression starts. Okay, struggling with her mental illness, she wrote The Bell Jar. Instead of struggling with the mental illness, that is depression, she was able to write The Bell Jar. Okay, her novel, her only one novel. Okay, which was based on her life and deals with one young woman's mental breakdown. It is about her personal experience. Okay, Plath published the novel under the pseudonym Victoria Lucas. She also created the poem that would make up the collection Ariel, 1965, which was released after her death. The Ariel is a collection of poetry which was released after her death, which was published after her death. Okay, Sylvia Plath committed suicide on February 11, 1963. How she died? She committed suicide. Is it clear? Okay. Let's have the summary. In this poem, a mirror describes in existence its owner who grows older as the mirror watches. Okay, do you know what is mirror? How it looks, girls? Okay, mirror in a different shapes. Okay, but if you stand in front of the mirror, you will see your own reflection without any change. Okay, the mirror is the real one. Okay, it will not give you the fake impression. Yes or no, girls? Yes, obviously. Okay, it is true, it is honest. Yes or no? Because it will show your own reflection. Okay, it will not change anything. Is that clear? Okay. The mirror describes itself as silver and exact. It figures no work did as a substitute, merely swallow and reflect the image back as it is. The mirror is loyal, only truthful. Okay, the mirror will not change anything. If we stand in front of the mirror, we will see our own reflection, own thing. Okay, there is no change. It is loyal and it is truthful, honest. Okay, it deems itself a four-cornered eye of God, which sees everything as it is. It shows like a four-cornered. Yeah, you people have seen Lord Shiva, the third eye. Yes or no? Yes or no? It looks like that. Okay, fourth-cornered eye of God. Is it clear? Okay. Most of the time, it looks transversely the empty room and mediates on the wall, which is pink speckled. It has looked at that wall for a long time. It describes the wall as part of my heart. Now, if you are not standing in front of the mirror was empty. Yes or no? Yes or no? It will reflect the in front of the wall. Yes or no? So what it says, the wall is a part of my heart. That is part of the mirror's heart. Is that clear? Okay. The image of the wall is interrupted by people who enter to look at themselves and by the darkness that comes in the night. Okay, well, in this fifth point, what it tells that the mirror's front wall is his mirror's heart. Okay, if we interrupt, that is, if we stand in front of the mirror, the wall will hide. Yes or no? Yes, obviously. So that is the interruption. It is told like that. Okay, and in the night the mirror also will become dark. Yes or no? Yes, obviously. The mirror imagines itself as a lake. A woman looks into it, trying to discern who she really is by gazing at her reflection. Now in the sixth point, what it is telling is the mirror is imagining itself as a lake. Okay, in that is gazing, like a wave. Okay, the woman who stands in front of the mirror, she gazing her life. Is that clear? Her reflection. Is that clear? Okay. Then the mirror imagines itself as a lake. A woman looks into it, trying to discern who she really is by gazing at her own reflection. That is, for example, in this mirror, in this image, I have shown you the first image, that is a sea and the area around, in and around the area, how it reflects. Okay, the sky is reflects in the water. Yes or no? Here I have shown you the mirror. In front of the mirror, one candle is kept, and here you can see it is lighting, and there it is off. Yes or no? That is, a woman is standing there and imagining herself, what am I, who I am reflecting here, like that she is pointing. Okay, sometimes the woman prefers to look at herself in candlelight or moonlight, but these are liars because they mask her true appearance. Only the mirror existing here as lake gives her a faithful representation of herself. Here sometimes the women want to be like a candlelight or moonlight, but it will show as a liar. Okay, it is a fake, but the reflection in the sea, lake, that is a small pond is there and the reflection is there, no, that is the correct explanation. Okay, it will faithful representation of herself. There is no fake things. Is that clear? Because of this honesty, the woman cries and wrings her hands. That is, the mirror shows the real thing. Okay, the honest thing. So because of that, the woman starts crying what it is, like that. Okay, nevertheless, she cannot refrain from visiting the mirror every morning, over and over again. Okay, whatever it may be, every day she visits. Every morning she visits over again and again the mirror. Okay, one day, in a day, full day, at least one time we can see the mirror. Yes or no? Yes, obviously. Over the years, the woman has drawn a young girl in the mirror and now sees in her reflection an old woman, growing older by the day. This old woman raises towards her out of the mirror like a terrible fish. Okay, now as the day passes, she is growing old, as a young girl to the old. Here she is defining as a terrible fish. Here I am sharing a line by line explanation. This poem is all about appearances and the search for the self. Okay, the mirror is the voice and has a role to show how powerful an object mirror in the people life. Okay, it is about search. It is identifying herself. Okay, and the mirror is a real one which shows the what people's life living in a daily life. Okay, she wanted to highlight the issue and inner turmoil caused by aging, the poet's own struggle for a stable identity of a young, pretty, and perfect. Yes or no? It is a real thing, and here the poet wants to identify herself. Okay, that is, she want to search herself. Okay, through identity of herself, what she is, how she is looking, what she is doing, what's the matter of life is, the future of life of her, everything. Okay, the first little tree line. Okay. I am silver and exact. I have no preconceptions. Whatever I see, I swallow immediately, just as it is, unmisted by love or dislike. In this lines, introducing the passive rectangle of silver and glass and its shiny surface. Mirror have no prior knowledge of anything. They simply are. The use of the verb swallow suggests that the mirror has a mouth, digests whole image instantly, like a creature. The next line emphasizes the savage, non-discriminatory nature of the mirror. Here in this line, that is, whatever it shows in front of the mirror, it swallows as it is. Yes, of course, it reflects as it is. I am not cruel, only truthful. The eye of a little god, four cornered. Most of the time, I mediate on the opposite wall. In those lines, this is the objective theme continued as a mirror, reinforces the idea of neutrality. It is simple, tells the story as it is, no fuss, no elaboration, no fabrication. And it is this quality of truthfulness, the eye of a little god, mediates of the opposite wall. Like some open-eyed, staring sage, the mirror sits contemplatively. Here, what it is told as, it is like a four cornered eye. Okay, as a god. I told you before itself, right? In front of the wall, if we are not standing in front of the mirror, the reflection of the wall will be seen in the mirror. Yes or no? So it tells about this. It is pink with speckles. I have looked at it so long. I think it is part of my heart, but it flickers. Faces and darkness separates us over and over. The wall is pink, speckled, and is now an integral part of the mirror heart, suggesting that this silver-eyed god has gained a feminine side to its persona. Pink is associated with the girly things, but the connection isn't that clear. There are uncertain phases coming between it, and the wall of pink is the mirror losing its grip on its own reality. The ripples starting to affect the smooth surface. Now, in those lines, what it is told as, pink is the reflection of the girl. Yes or no? We used to say like pink is for girl and blue is for boy, right? Like that. Here she is personifying. Okay, pink wall. After that, when night comes, we will switch off the lights. Yes or no? At that time, they are separated. The mirror and the wall is separated. Is it clear? Okay. Now I am a lake, a woman bent over me, searching my reaches for what she really is. Then she turns to those liars, the candles or the moon. In this, the first stanza concentrates on the exact truthfulness of the mirror, and the second stanza sees the transition. Okay, the mirror becomes a liquid, it gains depth and different dimensions. Is that clear? Okay. In this second stanza, she tells that with God-like medium shifting power, the mirror becomes a lake. In it is reflected the image of a woman, and she is bending over as one of wood over the surface of a lake to see the reflection. Seeing her reflection, the woman is uncertain of herself. Nausicaa looked into a similar lake and was so overcome with its own beauty he fell in and drowned. The woman isn't interested in beauty, it seems. She realizes that she can't dwell on the past. Now, the mirror has become like a lake. Okay, she want to try to drown in the lake, and she want to search her identity. Okay, search herself. Is it clear? Okay. I see her back and reflect it faithfully. She rewards me with tears and agitation of hands. I am important to her. She comes and goes. Here in these lines, she tells that the mirror sees her back. The woman weeps, which pleases the mirror, perhaps because tears replenish the water in the lake. Woman is clearly upset because of powerful memories, not all of them positive. Yes, obviously, when she stands in front of the mirror, she feels about the past. Okay, she thinks about the past and she starts crying. Here we in this stanza we said that the mirror is a lake. Okay, in that watery area, the crying, the water, tears also vanishes. Okay, mixed with the lake. Okay, it is not so good, but she is thinking about her powerful memories. That is, she is very upset. Okay, we can see that it is clearly she is upset, and no, because of the not all the positive things. Okay, which were going in the life. Is it clear? Okay. Each morning it is her face that replaces the darkness. In me she has donned a young girl, and in me an old woman raises towards her day after day like a terrible fish. At last, the mirror believes it is important to the woman, and so it appears relentlessly. The woman looks at herself in the mirror each morning, so reliant has she become. The revelation, a shock, is that the woman's younger self is dead, drowned by her own hand. Imagine the horror of facing the mirror each morning and confronting an inner demon, which is what the poet conveys through her poem. The innocent, romantic, crazy girl floats lifeless in the water, and out of her there rises from the emotional depth a hug fish, a monstrosity. Here, why was the poem Mirror written? While it is impossible to say exactly why Plath wrote Mirror, there is no reason to believe her motive for writing this poem was any different from that of her other poem, to express abstract emotions and a state of mind that cannot easily be captured in prose. While Mirror, written in 1961, just 2 years before the poet's suicide, likely contains many autobiographical elements that have to do with her difficult life, the poem has merit beyond a mere confessional. It is a compelling work of art and a remarkable piece of literature. Mirror was not published by another 10 years after Plath's death, when it appears in Plath's book Crossing the Water, published by Ted Hughes posthumously. Here, in a conclusion, we can say that why she has written the mirror, we don't know, but we can imagine how struggle and how depressed she was. Okay, because of her depression she started writing, and in her daily life, what are all the things she come across, she lost her identity, I think. Okay, yes or no? Obviously she wants to search her identity. Okay, real identity, what she is. So she has written in search of herself. Yes or no? Okay, by this I conclude, girls. Thank you. Here I want to share a small thing, that is etiquette, like girls, respect your parents. Okay, parents are the most valuable living thing, okay, in our life. Without parents we are not. Okay, whatever it may be, whatever they say, it is good for us. So please listen to our parents. Okay, it is very good. Thank you.